All right, it's time for the Rock News Weekly Podcast. What's up, everybody? Chris here hanging out with you guys. How you all doing this week? We got lots to talk about. Just got back from Outside Lands. Outside Lands was a great hit this year. We saw the Strokes on Saturday night, and man, they put on a hell of a show. My wife is a huge Strokes fan, and she's actually recovering in the other room there from having such a great time last night. So shout out to the Strokes, and Outside Lands put on an amazing festival. The weather was amazing. It was like this foggy, overcast, cloudy, perfect weather. It wasn't rainy. It wasn't hot. It was so nice to get out of the heat of the Central Valley and enjoy that in the Bay Area. So it was great. We had a great time. All right, but let's get to the rock news this week. As I was mentioning, we got some things to talk about. So Ozzy. This is a big deal. His own haunted house. Have you heard about this? Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights. Then we got the Beat Tour update with a new drummer, Terry Bozzio, instead of Danny Carey. Alice in Chains, 30th anniversary edition of their Unplugged album. And then Pearl Jam's Jeff Ament with a photo book of stuff they took. So let's get to it. Here's the tour news. Beat performing the music of King Crimson. This was a huge tour announcement. I saw this tour with Danny Carey on the first go-round at the Blue Note in Napa, and it was one of the best shows I've ever seen. Fantastic. They're tackling the 80s King Crimson stuff, which is not an easy thing to do. If you guys know anything about the King Crimson catalog, those albums are fan favorites, but also some of the toughest stuff to do. Robert Fripp hasn't revisited hardly any of that stuff since he's been doing his recent incarnations of King Crimson. So he gave his blessing, and he told Adrian, hey, you go for it. I saw pictures of Robert at these shows. He's been at the tour, multiple shows, so he's a big fan of it. And Terry Bozzio behind the kit. This was the big news announcement this week. This is the North American tour, October through December. And Terry Bozzio from Frank Zappa, Missing Person, replacing Danny Carey on the drums due to the latter's commitment to Tool. Belew added, our deepest appreciation goes to our brother Danny Carey, a true beat poet. His extraordinary musicianship, generosity, humor, and explosive creativity helped establish beat as something far beyond a tribute. He helped create its identity. While Tool commitments keep him from joining us this fall, he remains an essential part of our family. And he's coming up in Aftershock, one of their only dates. Tool doesn't have very many tour dates. But also, some people, I was kind of thinking about this, maybe some preparation for the rumored Sphere dates that may be popping up next year. Has not been confirmed, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're hunkering down and trying to figure that stuff out. The Beat Tour is also going to see the quartet originally formed to perform material from the 80s era of King Crimson, adding some material from the 90s output, which this sounds really cool. It's going to be different than the past tour. It almost makes me want to go and see this again. I was thinking about it. I saw the ticket prices. I'm like, I just can't do it this year. It's the timing of it's awful for me. I'll be coming right off of my Aftershock weekend. Even though they are playing two beautiful venues right by me, not right by me, but Santa Cruz at the Quarry, which is this beautiful outdoor amphitheater. You got to see a show there. I've been waiting to check off that on my bucket list, and I would have totally gone to that one if I wasn't at Aftershock the previous weekend. Napa at the Blue Note Summer Sessions, Meritage Resort. You guys should check that show out if you're in California area, especially Northern California. It's going to be an amazing show. That's on a Saturday night. Then San Diego on a Sunday. Las Vegas on, looks like, Tuesday, the Virgin Hotel. That one, it maybe even I might be able to pull that off. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, check out all these dates, guys. Look at, they're everywhere. I mean, they go to practically every city, state. They're in Toronto for a handful, or Toronto for one, and then Quebec for another. And then New York, Boston, go down to Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida, Texas, back to California and Southern California to finish it out. So there you go. Pretty cool. And lots of tour dates for Beat. So definitely go to beat-tour.com and check out all the details and grab your tickets and support that amazing tour. Universal Studios honoring Ozzy with Halloween Horror Nights and his own haunted house. Yeah, the Prince of Darkness getting his own haunted house at Halloween Horror Nights. And this is both locations. Hollywood's version begins in Birmingham, England, tracing Osbourne's life from childhood through his legendary albums. And then Orlando's experience ventures through dungeons and ancient ruins before boarding the Crazy Train. So it sounds like they have different kind of themes. I'm wondering, Orlando's, I got to be honest, sounds a little more cool, a little scarier, but maybe the Hollywood version is a little more authentic and kind of like a story of his childhood. Not as scary, but sounds cool. Sharon and Jack giving their blessing, of course, saying it's a wonderful tribute, saying Ozzy loved anything that gave fans a new way to experience his music. Halloween Horror Nights runs August 28th through November 1st in Orlando and September 3rd through November 1st in Hollywood. So there you go. Alice in Chains 30th anniversary edition of MTV Unplugged. Look at, they're doing a little time capsule merch there with the rooster on the shirt with the classic logo. Looks like they got a red vinyl variant CD and DVD or Blu-ray, I'm guessing. It says it's a solar flare colored vinyl and then a ruby vinyl variant as well. CD and double LP. Original performance recorded April 10th, 1996. This was their huge MTV Unplugged performance. It was legendary. I'm glad it's getting a 30th reissue for us to appreciate on vinyl without having to pay an arm and a leg or listen to some bootleg or whatever. So I think that's really cool. It was the band's first show in over 2 years, following vocalist Lane Staley's severe addiction struggles. Guitarist Jerry Cantrell contracted food poisoning just before the broadcast. You can see him kind of struggling. Initially met with lukewarm reviews, the recording has since been recognized as one of MTV Unplugged's greatest performances. Pre-orders are available now. Check that out, Alice in Chains fans. That's pretty awesome. Jeff Ament is releasing a rare photo book this September. He says, "I'm Jeff from Pearl Jam. Buy my new book of old photographs, please." That is not an actual quote, but I'm sure he would say that to you. He is releasing a personal photo book titled Since Forever on September 25th, available at independent bookstores and the band's website. The hardcover volume features over 250 black and white photographs, with 90% of them never published before. So it's not like you're getting a bunch of rehashed photos. Sounds pretty cool. It's like backstage photos, in studio, candid shots from the early 90s years. He says, if there was a goal, it was to mostly save the failing 30-year-old negatives. So that's cool. It's kind of a way of doing that and putting it in a digital era and transferring everything, putting it in a book. He said the project was a collaborative effort with his brother Barry. Ament and his brother will discuss the book at Pearl Jam's Ohana Fest, where the band will also debut their new mystery drummer. Pre-orders are available now at Pearl Jam's website. Check it out and support them. Pretty cool. All right, we got some birthdays this week. Let's get to these birthdays, shall we? Where's my birthday music?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, man. Who do we got this week? Not too many, actually. Oh, yeah, this is one of the shorter ones. There was some other bands, but they're like, it goes so deep. It's like stuff that you guys probably wouldn't care about. Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits, born on the 12th of August, 1949. Wow. Kevin Cadigan of Third Eye Blind, 1970 on the 14th. And then Slim Dunlap of The Replacements, 1951 on the 14th. I believe we have some trivia to get to. Let's get to this trivia.
This week in rock and roll history, trivia.
Let's do it. All right. This week, August 9th, 1995, the original members of Kiss play together for the first time since this year when Peter Criss and Ace Frehley joined the current band to record their MTV Unplugged special, which is Speaking of MTV Unplugged, right? All these anniversaries, which is later released as the album Kiss Unplugged. Not counting Ace Frehley's 1976 wedding, it also marks the only time the original members have performed without makeup. The appearance goes over so well that Chris and Frehley rejoined the band in 96, replacing Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer. The subsequent outing becomes the top-grossing tour that year. What was the last year the original Kiss lineup played before this date? What was it? 1978, 1980, 1982, or 1985? What do you guys think? I forgot the answer. I think it's 80 or 82. Let me see. Oh, it's 85. 80. There you go. So the last time they played together up until 95 was 1980, August 9th. Almost, 15 years. A little bit less than, almost exactly 15 years. So there you go. All right, new albums out this week. These just came out on August 7th. Support these artists. Go to their website. All the labels here are clearly written, so you could check out these record labels and support these artists. Cancer Bats, Give Me Dirt. Ceremony, Tell Me Your Dream. Citizen, Halcyon Blues. Crumbling Ghost with 4. Electric Callboy, Tanzede. Holding Absence, Modern Life is Lonely. Hollywood Vampires at Montreux Jazz Festival, a live one. Holder with Verbolgen. Initiate with Love with Rage. Totemal, Graveyards of Joy, and Xandria with Eclipse. Once again, there you go. Pause it. Check it out. Those are all the artists, labels, everything that's out this week of August 7th. And real quick on Outside Lands Festival, we had a great time. We did GA+, which was a step above GA, so it had kind of nicer bathrooms, and I wanted to give a little review on that. The bathrooms were nice. It was just a step above. There was running water in there, and it wasn't crowded and stinky, and the lines weren't that bad. So the lines got really bad later in the night in the general admission area, so that's definitely worth paying for probably the bathroom situation alone, but just let it be known that it is situated in an area that is away from all of the main stages, and you'd have to really trek it over there to kind of take advantage of the area. That was the only bummer. It's right by the Bingo Loco stage, which was a blast. We had a blast doing that. They were giving away trips to Vegas and VIP upgrades and stuff, and we didn't win anything, but it was fun. It was bingo, but it was they play music. It was like musical bingo, and you cross off the songs on your list and get a prize. It was a lot of fun. So definitely cool. That was awesome. Food was great. Weather was great. The vibe, people very friendly. It goes kind of on the young end and with families. That's the only thing I really don't like about it as a partying adult, is there's a lot of kids there, a lot of teenagers that don't really know festival etiquette and kind of how to respect people's space and kind of doing that kind of stuff, you know? And then a lot of kids that you're wondering, like, they're running around with little headphones on and stuff, and I get that parents, you know, want to bring their kids and stuff, but man, that was it's nothing wrong with all ages. I'm not saying anything, but that was a little thing to worry about, you know. Anyway, but the festival itself was great. Strokes were awesome on Saturday night. Had a great time. It was fantastic. So, Outside Lands, we may be coming to you next year. I heard rumors that Radiohead might be there, so we shall see. All right, I'm out the door, guys. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in this week. We'll see you guys next time, all right? Peace. Have a good one. Bye-bye.